What is going on, fellas? And welcome to a new little series that we're doing called Spurs Revenge. We are going to take this Spurs team, which, as we know, isn't doing the best this year, having just finished runners-up in the Champions League last year. We are going to see if we can do a better job than Pochettino and Mourinho are doing, but it's going to be a little different. So what we're going to do is, for the first transfer window, we are going to make signings, but then we're going to go on holiday until January and see what the AI can do with the team that we make and see where we go from there. From then on, I don't know if I'll manage the second half of the season or if we leave it to the AI and see how the AI do with the team, because January then we make more transfers if we have money. Speaking of money, not a whole lot, 30 million transfer budget. We have a little. We don't have enough. We don't have an awful lot of wage budget, actually. Fantastic. But as you can see, we've taken charge. I should have shown you my profile. We've a Continental Pro license. We are a global international footballer. 44 caps and 17 goals for Ireland. Beautiful. This is my preferred style. I do enjoy playing a 4-2-3-1, and we have a 2-year deal. So it'll be interesting to see how we get on in all of that. Don't need a tactics induction. What they want us to do is play attacking football, sign players under the age of 22, play possession football, sign English players, develop players using the youth system, don't sign players over 30, play entertaining football. And then 5-year plan is to maintain self-sustainability, maximum of 2-year contracts for players over 30, work within the wage budget, obviously. They want us to qualify for the Champions League this season, reach the FA Cup final, the first knockout round of the Champions League, and nobody cares about the Carabao Cup because it's shit. So we're going to accept that. Yep, all's fine. Oh, we've a little 2 friendlies against Milan and Roma. Ooh, can't wait for that. So there's definitely going to be some changes that need to be made to this team. But what we'll do is I'm going to have a look at what we have at the club, see where we can make some cash, because we are getting 90% transfer revenue, which is nice, because there's a couple of players here I'm pretty sure we could get rid of and we wouldn't be too bad off, or too bad. So I will bring you back in just a second for a look at who we've decided to get rid of, who we're keeping, and any transfers that we make. So we will be back in just a second. So as we currently stand, this is the formation and tactic we're going to be using. I do think we need some extra bodies at right back, because Walker Peters and Aurier, I do think Danny Rose might be gotten rid of, along with Musa Sissoko. I'm going to try and cash in on Wanyama, Eriksson and Dyer, try and get some cash money in. What we need is a third striker, because I'm going to try and get Troy Parrott into the team. And other than that, I don't think there's a whole lot we really need. Maybe another definitely another centre back, actually, because we only have 3. Juan Foyt is out for 3 months, Dele Alli is out for 2 months, and Sessegnon out for 4 months. So we don't necessarily need a left back, because we have Ray and Sessegnon. But if we do get rid of Daniel Rose, like I intend, Davies is the only left back we have, which wouldn't be ideal. I do have ideas for some players that I want to try and bring in. I think we're going to need to shift some of the the players I don't want before we can actually afford to do that. In terms of the underage teams, the under 23s and the under 18s, it's not a whole lot of value. Could probably try and shift some of these players, but I don't see any of them actually making us any real money. And there's the only person I found in there that was worth bringing up was Oliver Skip, purely because Oliver Skip's a player that I like, so that's why Harry Winks is going in as well, because I'm a fan of Harry Winks. So, and I think this is the best way to set up the midfield, because the two of them want to be playmakers, but Lo Celso is better at playmaking than the two of them. So I'm going to play him because he's quite good. FYI, just in case you didn't know, he's quite good. But Harry Kane, I'm going to play him as a complete forward, because just look at that. 19 finishing, 16 long shots, 16 passing, 16 technique, 16 anticipation, and he's brave. Teamwork, his vision, his work rate, everything is fantastic. He could play pretty much anywhere and he would be fantastic. So like I said, in terms of transfers, we are going to look at young players, ideally English, because that's what they want us to do. Max Aarons, see how much they want for Max Aarons. 112. Right, so maybe we can't afford that, but there is the chance of doing the Never Never. So that's something to consider. Kai Havertz, not a player I thought of. That's possibly a good idea. We do have 200,000 in wages, plus if we do get rid of the players I want to get rid of, you're talking about an extra 300,000, so we could have 500,000 in wage budget to play with. I don't know, I think there's definitely players here, even if you just go based on potential ability and current ability, Aurier, Gazaniga and Vorm, Michael Vorm, 40 grand a week for third choice goalkeeper. That man is stealing a living. But yeah, we'll most he's ever played is 5 games. Don't think he's going to get that many games this year. Not under me, I'm not a huge fan of Michael Vorm. So we will be back in just a second to see who we've signed, and that'll all be done by the 10th of August. So we don't have a whole lot of time to get this done, and I have to remember we have to do Champions League as well, so we need to be prepped for Champions League with a very small amount of money. Not ideal. Right, we'll be back in just a second and we'll go through our transfers. So, see you guys in just a second. Right, so here we are. First game of the season. We are about to go on holidays until... Can't do Christmas because then I'd have to manage a game. We just go till the 1st of January. We start our season against Norwich. As you can see, Man City absolutely demolished Crystal Palace 5-0 in their game. So they're off to a somewhat decent start. The game we're going to come back for, or we're going to see how we're getting on, is going to be against Man City. Interesting. It's going to be interesting to see who we get in the Champions League as well, because that should be fun. It doesn't have the date for the group being drawn yet. Transfer wise, this is what we've done. As you can see, 2 players were up for going out on loan. They both did, but in terms of players coming in, we have Dominic Szoboszlai, as I like to call him. Comes in to Tottenham, 12 million, possibly rising to, well, no, it's just 12 million. I'm pretty sure I put a clause in there, but it's just straight 12 million. He's 5th choice, but I think he has a good shout for being not first choice, but he's definitely up there. He's one of my favourite players. I absolutely love this man. He is fantastic. I would build an entire team around him if it wasn't Tottenham. But he's in, so we're happy with that. Then we also signed Armstrong Okoflex, because he is a very versatile player. He can play either right wing or right midfield, left wing, left midfield, or striker. I brought him in because we were having a bit of difficulty getting strikers. He's not great, but then again, he's fine. He's sufficient. He's not going to play very often. Then we have Karamoko Dembele, who is, after coming in, he looks, even at 16, he looks pretty good, you have to say. He's been signed to an 18,750 a week contract, but he won't sign that until February. He's come in 7.5 million, potentially rising to 26.5 million if he plays 50 games. He has to score 50 goals. He has to make his international debut. It's just one of those never kind of deals. We also brought in Jude Bellingham. As you can see, there's a theme. Quite young players. I think he could step into the team fairly soon. Obviously not straight away, but this is a 10 million, possibly rising to 47.5 million. Again, 50 games, 50 goals, international debut. He has to make all of that. He has to do a bunch of things before Birmingham will see half that money. Then we signed Danny Olmo. Without a doubt, probably the best bit of business we've done. 20 million. Straight up. No clauses. Just 20 million. The man is going to come in, and him and Lo Celso, I think, are going to be the ones that are going to duke it out for attacking midfield. So I'm quite happy with that. Then I found this random guy, Yachuro Romer. He's a winger. Looks adequate for 18 years old. He was playing at VVV Venlo, but he was on an amateur contract, so we got him in for nothing. He's valued at 2.8 million on relatively low wages, so happy days. Then I remembered that we were short on centre backs, so I brought in Akanji from Borussia Dortmund. 18.25 going up to 33.5 million if he plays 50 games, scores 50 goals, and some of it's over a certain period of time as well, I think. I decided that I forgot that I'd made an offer for Joe Rodon, the Swansea centre back, so I just let it go through. He's on 50k a week. I forgot what it's like to have money, and I'm just throwing cash around. It's quite enjoyable. I'm enjoying it. He's 6'4", 7.5 million, possibly rising to 28.5 million. Oh god, what have I done? And then we signed Angel Gomez from Man United. He's gone straight out on loan to Middlesbrough. They're paying $1 million plus some of his wages, I think. We paid 6.25 million for him. Oh, they're not paying any of his wages. Okay, we're paying him 22k to not play. Delightful. So that's the business that I've done. On the outs then, Christian Eriksen went to PSG, 60 million. As you can see, his debut, fantastic. He's straight off doing great work. He wasn't interested in signing a contract, so offered him out. PSG came in, 60 million. Not a bother. Away you go. Then Wanyama went to Leicester for 20 million. So we doubled our money over having a player for 3 seasons. Never, for the last 2 seasons, really didn't play that many games. To double your money, I think that's a good deal, I think. Then Toby Alderweireld offered him a contract. He said no. Then Liverpool and Juventus offered his release clause, and some Chinese club wanted to sign him, but they were only willing to pay like 7 million for him. So I rejected the Chinese club when they wouldn't pay more than his release clause. Gone to Liverpool, 25 million. He's my favourite centre back at Tottenham, so that was disappointing. Then Moussa Sissoko tried to sell him, refused to leave. Man United are paying us 5 million to take him away, so I'm fine with that. Eric Dyer's gone to Juventus for 30 million, 30.5 million. A player I had no interest in playing. I do not like Eric Dyer. I know he's a nice utility player to have. No interest in playing him. I would rather have taken less money for him to get him out of the club. But we got pretty much his value. Then we had this kid who looked... his potential was quite good. He's gone to Bournemouth. Mark Andy brought him into the first team, gave him a couple of... it doesn't show it there. He played 2 friendly games. Bournemouth, 16 clubs offered to buy him. Bournemouth ended up being the ones that took him. Then Oliver Skipp went on loan to Swansea, where they're paying his wages. They are indeed. We made some good out of that. And then we have Angel Gomez going out on loan for 100,000 a month. So, this guy came up. He was at the club already. I had no idea who he was, but he's getting better. He's progressively getting better. It's fantastic. So this is how we're lining up for the season. I'm going to probably set it so that we try and get the team to play not necessarily this formation, because I think Son Heung-min will be kind of more the left winger and Lucas Moura as the right winger. But when Sessegnon comes back, I'm sure he'll get into the team. And Troy Parrott, I'm hoping he gets some game time as well. It'll be interesting to see in January, because we didn't sign another striker, so it is Harry Kane, Occo Flex and Troy Parrott. And as anybody who's watched Lelujo's Non-League to Legend series will know, Occo Flex, not much of a goal scorer, even though he's got 12 finishing. All around, he's not a great player, but he's here now. We shall see how he gets on. So we are going to end the episode here. We will be back for January, see how we're getting on. Finance wise, we still have about 45 million to spend in the transfer budget. We have a little bit of weight, we have about 270,000 in wages, so definitely could bring in a couple more players in January if needs be. There's also the opportunity to sell some of the dead wood that we have here. Wouldn't mind getting a better backup goalkeeper than Gazaniga. Michael Worms is never going to play, so sorry. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. But yeah, we're going to be back in the next episode for January. I'm not going to take charge of the games. I will just let them. I'll either go on holiday for the games or I'll do an instant result or something. I am not going managing them. We're going to see how the club gets on without me managing it, with our new assistant manager, Brian Klug, who came from Ipswich. Well, that's another thing as well. We completely changed the staff. Pretty much everybody is new. So I'm curious. Can Spurs get their revenge? We'll find out in the next episode. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share with all of your friends. And I'll see you tomorrow for more daily Football Manager content. Thank you very much for watching, fellas. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!